Welcome back. Let's get started on your tarot reading for the full moon podcast episode. Just to recap, this is for anyone that has sun, moon, rising, any inner planets, which are Mercury, Mars, and Venus in a cardinal sign. Cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Please keep in mind that these are going to be general readings, so everything I say is not going to stick with you. Please take what does and shake off the rest. My readings are going to be starting on the general energy, and then I'm going to go into a reading for each sign. So what came out at the bottom of the deck is be your first priority. And what we have is you earned all your stripes. So there's a lot of judgment going on and a lot that you're holding back from yourself. There's a lot of low self-esteem, a lot that you take out on yourself. There's a lot of uncomfortableness in your own body. And this could come out even if you look how you want it to look, or like you already reached your body goals and you're still not happy with how you look like. That type of unhappiness with your body. And that's an inner wound that comes from childhood. There's also a certain type of unhappiness with how you currently are, but there's no actions to change that. So what that could look like is, you know that eating a lot of chocolate makes you have a lot of pimples, but you don't exclude or limit how much chocolate you eat, and that's something you don't want to change, but yet you keep complaining of how many pimples you're getting. So there's certain things that you're doing that are keeping you in that type of mindset and not letting actual changes come in because you're not putting the either effort, work, or you're in denial about certain things. And denial could also look like as you not knowing or understanding that and not wanting to learn more because you already feel you're right. What came out is artificial heart, and at the bottom of the deck we have pride. So there's a lot of pride here. Internally hold in all the pride. Now, what all of this has to do with the moon going on, the full moon, is these emotions and these lessons are going to be intensified. And like I said in the podcast, Lilith with the moon, the dance that they're having, this is going to be a repeated thing throughout the year. So these lessons are something that are going to keep coming towards you. And the moon is not always going to be in Cancer. So Lilith is going to bring out other areas of your life that you're not facing. Really tackling this down, because each area that Lilith is going to come out in is going to be different, but they're all going to be tied together. And if you start working on this little by little with each Lilith and moon dance that there is, you'll be able to start seeing a different person or start seeing in areas that you have to start working on. A lot of denial of your feelings, or you fake your feelings a lot. And this could look like, as the example that I gave earlier, not wanting to take out chocolate from your diet, but you're saying that chocolate's not the problem, even though doctors have already told you to stop eating chocolate or to limit how much chocolate you eat. And you're not really taking care of yourself. This could also look like as not having clean clothes and not having clean dishes, but yet you have a very expensive apartment to come home to, but you're not taking care of it. Just how you're not taking care of yourself. And this is all part of the denial, and it's all part of the pride that you're holding down, because there's something that you're not being honest with yourself. And during this full moon, that's going to intensify that energy. And you're in a pattern of taking it out on yourself. So that's what you might be doing during this full moon. And that's going to come out on how you look at yourself and how you feel about yourself, especially your home life and how comfortable you feel with that. So that could look like as feeling like you don't want to be home. Cancer is about your home life, so it is going to bring out feelings about that. What can you change to make yourself feel more comfortable at home? Maybe it could be something small as having one place just set for your keys, so that way you don't have to struggle and look for them every single day in the morning and be late. Because there's a lot of uncomfortableness with your house, how you feel about yourself, and all of that is coming out with how you're taking care of yourself, with what you think, how you look at the world. And it's affecting also interactions with other people, because you're snapping at them or you're getting frustrated at them for no reason at all. And you at times don't even know the reason. And with the full moon, that's the type of energy that's going to come out if you keep being in denial or not dealing with these feelings. Now let's dive into each sign of the cardinal signs. They are all linked together, so I suggest that you listen to all of them. Some of the lessons coming out during this full moon are going to be about where you give away your power and how you give away your power. And with Lioness being here, this energy could look like as, because somebody gives you a compliment, you start flirting with them. This compliment wasn't genuine, and they give out that compliment to everybody that they see on the street. Like every female that they think is hot, they just throw their shot. You get all flattered because of this, but it's not an actual compliment. But you're so desperate for attention, or you need attention that badly, or you want it that badly, that you overlook those red flags. And keep in mind that right now, Venus is in Pisces, so overlooking red flags is going to be a huge theme. That's how this energy is going to come out. And this is a theme that you've been doing in past relationships, or you attract people that are like this, to where they're not faithful to you, but it has nothing to do with you. It's because they're so starving for attention that anybody that gives them the attention that they feel they want, they deserve, or whatever, they go after them and they completely forget about you. And it has nothing to do with you. It's just that you met them during a time where, or you meet them during a time where they are or they were lonely. And that lonely feeling, that's where this energy plays out. And it's a cycle that they've got you stuck in, a pattern you've been having. And that leads to you overlooking red flags. And a lot of this could be happening because it's not that you're not grateful for what you have in your life, but you're not grateful for yourself. And you don't show yourself how grateful you are for yourself. So you start mistreating yourself, either in the way that you talk to yourself, in the way that you show up for yourself, in the company that you keep around, the limiting beliefs that you have of the world. So during the transit of Lilith with the moon, I feel that that's one of the huge lessons for you Aries placements, is to find your power. This can also come out as taking away people's power. And so there needs to be a balance with that. This could look like as you don't want to do a certain thing, but instead of being honest about it, you give a lie to where they can't rebuttal that. So now they have to do what you want them to do, instead of just being honest and saying like, hey, you know what? I don't want that. Instead of just saying that, you go above and beyond to lie about it. And then that lie is sort of like filled with sympathy in a way, to where it makes them feel sorry for you. And you do that to manipulate the person. So then that way they don't have a rebuttal, or they can't tell you like, oh, but we could do it this way. Or Like, they can't compromise with that. And that's a pattern that you've had for a while. At the bottom of the deck, we have King of Cups, and what came out is the High Priestess. There's a lot of intuition going on here, and you use that intuition to manipulate other people, like with the example that I just gave. This could also look like as you are a people pleaser, but that's not really like who you are. You just pretend to be because you manipulate people by doing that. You come off as being very chill and very cool, but you're only doing that to like sort of lure them into your web, and then when they get far enough, you like trap them in there. And this is a behavior that you saw growing up, so a parent could have treated you this way, or you could have seen a caretaker or a sibling or somebody around you that did this, and they were never told not to do this. And you saw how it got them what they wanted, so you were like, oh, okay, this is something I could do. This could also look like as what you attract. So like I said, this could be something that you experience in the past or even with other partners. And so giving away your power and taking away power from others is going to be huge for you, Aries. And cardinal signs, keep in mind that in 2025, Neptune and Saturn are going to be going into Aries. So there is going to be a lot of changes. What changes have you done towards this energy? And keep in mind that a lot of people and a lot of astrologers, like online tarot readers, like, Aries, this is your year, like you're gonna have good luck. Like, yeah, but that's only gonna happen if you've been putting in the work. Because if you're not working on having gratitude and seeing the positive side of things, your own outlook is gonna keep you from seeing the blessings that the universe is sending your way. Like, you're gonna keep yourself from that. And that's why reflecting is so important. And I feel that that's why this Cancer moon at the beginning of the year is the most important moon, because of the reflection energy that it's bringing us. So you could start changing this to make the best of the opportunities that are going to be coming in your way for 2025. Now let's move on to Cancer. You got the exact same card. So I feel that if you heard everything for the Aries one, or if you haven't, you should go see it, because all of that applies to you. Wisdom, and at the bottom of the deck, fear. There's a lot of things that you've learned that you're not applying to your life, and you're not applying to reach your goals or your full potential. And this is something that's going to keep you from seeing those opportunities that I was talking about with Aries. There's also a lot of fear that you have that comes out in the form of ego. And this fear was something that was passed down to you. So this could be something that you learned from your parents, siblings, people around you, your environment. But this fear turns into anger real fast. And this is going to come out during the full moon and when Lilith is involved with the moon. Find the wisdom that you have learned in the past is really important, because you have the tools here to fight this fear, which turns into anger. But you're not willing to do that because you're so hard-headed on how your way is better. Your identity, what you don't like about your parent or one parent or both of them, that's turning into who you are becoming, because that's what you're focusing on. And a lot of that anger that you have, a lot of that fear has been passed down from your parent or your siblings or your caretaker. This could look like as your mom walking away or passing away, and then your dad telling you that it happened differently. or the opposite way around, or them always been fighting and never really getting along, but you always hear two different stories. And so you see that type of manipulation and you start applying that to people around you and to yourself. And that type of manipulation keeps you blind from applying the wisdoms that you learned, because you have to admit that you were wrong, or that what you were doing was wrong, or it wasn't the right way. So there is a lot of pride involved here. This could also look like as attracting partners like this and you thinking that you have the wisdom to change them, that you could give them patience or love to change somebody like that. This card is also about being caught up in your feelings, because your feelings say something else. You keep holding on that they're going to change their mind. And that hope is going to lead to pain, and it's going to create a fear inside of you of trusting other people, when it was just your inner boundaries that didn't help you see clearly that situation. What came out is Queen of Pentacles, and at the bottom of the deck we have Queen of Wands. So queens in tarot are about your feminine energy. They could represent a person in your life. So this could be somebody that has a lot of feminine energy. They could be male or female. It could be somebody with red hair. They could be like stocky build. Queen of Pentacles is about earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. And Queen of Wands is fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. So they could have these signs in their chart. This could also look like as opportunities coming your way that you're gonna miss them because of everything that I talked about earlier. So it could be an opportunity to increase your finances and to get you further into your career, but you could miss that opportunity because of how you look at the situation, or how you look at yourself, or how you look at the world. And there's a lack of accountability here with not applying wisdom to your actions. Not taking accountability is not going to be helpful, because you're wrapping yourself up in your own pride and your own ideas, and you don't think that you're wrong. And you could attract people like this. And with attracting people like this is they will put that viewpoint on you, and you're going to absorb that and make it your own. And then you become just as stuck as they are. Your point of view towards yourself and towards the world starts changing. And like I said before, that's going to change how you take advantage of those opportunities coming your way. It's also going to change how you see them. You're a natural in ignoring red flags, especially your own. So look internally, try to see relationships, friendships, past co-workers that have failed, and try to see what was your part. Don't focus on their part, because we can't do nothing about them. You could only do something about yourself. So focus on what you were doing wrong. Was it you not having boundaries and not speaking up for yourself that really got in the way of you getting hurt? And keep in mind that exploring that is not so that you could use it as ammunition against yourself. And if that was a very heavy relationship that you don't think you'll be able to handle that type of exploration on your own, I recommend that you do it with a professional. We're going to move on now to Capricorn energy. Hello, Capricorn. There's a lot of changes that are going to be coming your way. Pluto was in Capricorn since 2008, and now it switched finally to Aquarius at the end of 2024. So there's a lot of blessings coming in for cardinal signs, especially Capricorn. But like I said, with all the other signs, how you look at yourself and how you look at the world, it's really going to determine how you use the energy around you and what type of blessings, how you take advantage of them. And you might miss some of those opportunities or blessings because of how you look at yourself. There's a lot of stubbornness to change with Capricorn energy. Being an earth sign doesn't help. Change is really hard for Capricorns. And the thing about Capricorns is that there's a lot of ego and pride involved. And with Cancer moons, Capricorns, you're going to feel a lot more frustrated because this is going to create an opposition for you. Cancer is opposite Capricorn. This opposition, you're going to feel it internally with the other oppositions that are going on with the moon, only if they interact with your chart. If they come in contact with one of your personal planets within 5 to some use 10-degree orbs. More than likely, this isn't going to be the only opposition that you're going to feel within yourself. So this is bringing in a lot of tension. How you handle tension is really important because there's a lot of self-sabotaging involved when Capricorn has a lot of tension, guilt, shame, fear, any type of negative emotion. It's a sign of how you do this, the most self-harm to yourself. So if you have Capricorn in your top 3 or inner planets, where are you sabotaging yourself? Because that gets super deep because it's Capricorn energy. And Capricorn has, if you look at the actual sign, it has a mermaid's tail with a goat's head, or a fish tail with a goat's head. It could be different, but it's 2 separate body parts put together in one. So there's 2 worlds inside of you. Bringing out those 2 worlds into like the world for people around you to know is super crucial. It's very important because when you don't, that creates a lot of tension, and that tension brings explosive change towards you. So during the Cancer moons, it's going to bring a lot of intense and explosive energy your way. And that's energy that could be following you around whenever the moon does its dance with Lilith. So I would suggest that you look at where you have Lilith, what sign it's in, what house it's in. That's something that could really help you see where you're holding on to fear. And if you comment below your Lilith sign and what house it's in, I'll give you more information on how that comes out in your fears. In general, 7 of Swords is about trickery, but I feel that here applied to this reading, it's only trickery that you're doing to yourself. This type of trickery that you're doing to yourself is keeping you away from your happiness, and it's only because you're not expressing your emotions and you're not talking about how you really feel, and so you suppress it deep down inside and you let pride come out instead. And that's something that has been a part of your self-sabotage routine for a very long time. Also, how you look at your body and how you look at yourself and how you bring your feelings about that. You really just focus on those negative feelings about that. And that's what comes like forward, that's what comes out. And so those are the experiences that you're sort of getting from the universe because that's what you're focusing on. You create your own like little inner world and how you feel based off of your thoughts and your emotions. Now, it's impossible to sit there and just to concentrate on every single thought and to try to control them. But what you could control is your reaction to those thoughts, because your reaction then sets the feeling of how you're going to feel to those thoughts. It's important for you to explore those thoughts and feelings and how you react to them. Write them down. If they're too heavy to explore on your own, I always suggest that you seek professional help. But try to see what type of world you're creating inside of your mind and how you're reacting to it, like feeling wise, emotionally, and what changes you could bring into that. Because this Cancer moon is going to be explosive, and this energy is only going to intensify. And this explosive energy, with how explosive and dark Capricorn can get, is not going to help you. And like I said, since it's going to be magnifying, it's only going to keep getting worse if you don't start doing something about it. Next, we're going to move into Libra energy. Hi Libra. What we have here is boundaries that came out and blossoming at the bottom of the deck. So there's a lot of inner boundaries or outer boundaries that are really holding you back. And I do have to say that if you don't have inner boundaries, it is more than likely that you are not being respectful towards other people's boundaries. Because you don't have boundaries, so it's weird for you to see other people when they do have boundaries. And so that makes you react in a very explosive way, either internally or physically with them. And that could also be people that you attract, to where they don't have boundaries within themselves, and so they flip out or they get mad when you do set boundaries with them. And there's a lot of inner boundaries that are sort of building a wall against people. And at the time when you first created those inner boundaries, they helped you. They kept you safe from some sort of abuse that you were going through. But now those walls are just pushing people away, and you're not letting anybody, not even yourself, get close to you. And during this full moon, that's something that you're going to be feeling internally. And it's something that's going to keep you from seeing those opportunities and taking advantage of them. What came out is the Chariot upside down, and at the bottom of the deck we have Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is about keeping your emotions inside and not letting them out, or not being vulnerable with others or with yourself. And this could also look like as you attracting people that are like this. The Chariot upside down is about not moving forward, but it's usually things that you're doing internally that are not helping you move forward. And I feel that what I talked about boundaries is something that's not helping you move forward. And it's also something that's not helping you be vulnerable with yourself and with those around you. And it's really going to affect how you look at the world. So that's going to affect how you look at the blessings and opportunities that are going to be coming your way. And this is a pattern that you've had in the past. And being stuck in this type of energy could also look like as attracting people that are also stuck in this type of energy. And so now it becomes like quicksand where you're both are in it, and it's sort of like a race or like a war. There's a lot of tension because you're both trying to get out, and you both are sort of blaming each other in a way. And this energy could look like with a coworker, with a friendship. It doesn't just have to be romantic. It could even be a family member. But there's a lot of tit and tat, and that's not helping you grow. And how you feel about yourself and how you look at others is something that's really holding you back. Please subscribe if this reading resonated with you, and let me know in the comments.